Did you know, in the early 1960s, Singapore was not just some sleepy fishing village. We were already a bustling trading port with the second highest per capita income in Asia next to Japan. In those early days, the government adopted a socialist approach. Singaporeans entrusted the government to make our lives better. Our parliament was made up of people from different ethnicities and all walks of life. Back then, we had free speech, free press, and the right to protest.
I get a lot of demonstrations in Singapore when my students are quite obnoxious and spirited laugh. And I think they ought to be.
It was a time of language diversity, multilingual shows, and the golden era of Singapore cinema. The 70s saw the peak of our vibrant local music scene. We went nuts over our favorite sport. The Kallang War reached a fever pitch. We grew proud of our airport, our airline, our landmarks, our heroes, even our logos. Not to mention our food, of course. We are a multicultural culinary paradise like nowhere else. Truly, we've transformed our country into a tropical garden city envied by everyone around the world. In order to achieve all that, our first Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew, or LKY, had to be meticulous and thorough. For example, when certain trees were sick, he would call up senior public officers and demand immediate attention. To LKY, a tree sick at its roots would ultimately come to ruin if the disease were not promptly addressed. He said the same principle could be applied to integrity in the public service.
This is a country where the administration works, where there is a system, because you can't just plant a tree and walk away.
Throughout the years, LKY planted many trees all over Singapore. How would he feel if he saw these same trees now in poor shape, their signages conveniently removed? That's why people on the ground are worried. Over the last couple of decades, we've started to lose our way. Policies that were people-centric have become money-centric. We are told to work harder, faster, and more cheaply. We are told we need more reserves for a rainy day. We are told that costs have gone gila, and there's nothing we can do about it. Rent keeps going up. The cost of living keeps rising. More of us are struggling to make ends meet. Our very food culture and heritage, which has made us so strong in the past, are on shaky ground. Yet, the ultra-rich are still buying up GCBs. And not so long ago, a minister was convicted for corruption. The gap between the rich and the poor has grown significantly.
Even if you are going to lower me into the grave and I feel that something is going wrong, I'll get up.
Surely we can do something. Japanese writer Haruki Murakami once gave a speech in Jerusalem denouncing the war in Gaza. He said, "Between a high, solid wall and an egg that breaks against it, I will always stand on the side of the egg." We are all human beings, fragile eggs faced with a solid wall called the system. To all appearances, we have no hope of winning. The wall is too high, too strong, and too cold. But we each possess a spirit that's tangible, living, and compassionate. The system has no such thing. We cannot allow the system to exploit us.
So why do we do this? Why do we do this every 5 years? We believe that we can make a change. And I know it's difficult, but the one thing about the Singapore Democratic Party is they never give up.
My ideal Singapore is the elderly generation being able to retire with dignity.
It's one where the inequality gap is greatly reduced,
where you take care of the lowliest and poorest among us.
有那种同情心啊，爱护心啊。
A Singapore that is affordable.
Singapore where actually we can really thrive, right? Not just survive. And
authorities that listen better to the people,
so that we can begin to discover our true potential and become the truly great nation that we can become. If we don't fight for Singapore, if we don't help our fellow Singaporeans, who will?
In this election, let us ask ourselves, will we stand on the side of the egg? Will we just Survive? Or will we thrive? Will we make a change for the better? Dare we make a change for the future of Singapore?
We ultimately want to achieve a better Singapore for all of us.
If the opposition party win, you take care of yourself. Government won't take care of you. Wow. Threaten Kau tulan IPL no, I tulan no. This kind of thing is same tactic one. You see, they are still using the same old tactic. Upgrading lah, give you ang pao lah, $900, $700, $500. 有花不？没花嘛。$500 honestly speaking, I go Zouk one time, 没了。